Hey everybody, welcome back to another thrilling episode of Unsealed and Revealed. Yay! It's just us. It's fine. I'm Jeff May, and as always, I am joined by my favorite people and co-hosts and just all around good people to have. It's you. It's Autumn.
Hi.
Autumn will be on all the social media, responding to questions, comments, and concerns, relaying them both to myself. And of course, the man of the hour, so stoked to have him on here, the expert, the man, the myth, the legend, Guy Clunder. Guy, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. Excited to get into this one.
I'm super stoked because it looks to me like you and I are finally going to get to talk about Star Wars today.
Exactly. We get to talk about, well, yet one more passion of ours. And this is...
Who is it?
This is Count Dooku, as portrayed by Christopher Lee in both episodes 2 and 3. And the cool part is this figure technically can be both 2 or 3, as he stayed in the same outfit.
He never changed. He was nasty.
Yes, he was nasty. So
Change your clothes, Count Dooku.
Exactly. Get a different shirt.
Maybe he has like 15 sets of
Yeah,
that.
actually, I'm saying that as
Yes.
I'm wearing my official Sideshow outfit.
Well,
so
it may,
fine.
he had that Einstein thing where it was the same outfit every day. Could be.
Now, this is by Hot Toys?
This is by Hot Toys. This is their movie masterpiece series, the MMS 496. Let's first talk a little bit about box and box art. An incredible shot here on the top of the figure itself. Oddly enough, the one down on what you would originally think would be a slip cover is also the toy. But at first I thought one was the actor and one was the toy.
You thought they just
because
put Christopher Lee
because
on
they're
there.
just so dead on. This is an incredible portrait sculpture. So we're gonna turn our box around so you can see both.
That's what it looks like, upside down.
Yeah, upside down. Well, what I want to do then
There you
is...
go. You're on your front-facing camera.
Yeah, I'm
now,
on my
right?
front-facing camera now. On the back of our box art, we're going to have all of our warnings and such. However, we do not get the artist list on the back of the box this time.
Okay. So
Okay.
we don't have credits on that one.
Correct. No credits on this one.
Oh, that's cool. On the side of the top of the box. you
Yes,
see there's different
that's
poses and things. That's
what.
really neat.
Can we use our front camera
Yeah,
for
there
this
you
one
go.
here? This is what I was talking about, which we've seen before, where they'll do kind of a slip where you have to slide it off of the box. And at first, when I took it out of the brown box, I thought that's what it was going to do, but no, it's tucked in, so it just lifts off. But it's just a neat added dimension.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that.
They
but
didn't have to
did,
do
and
it,
looks really rad.
but it changes up the standard box that we've had for a while. Inside, then we get a great shot of our figure in action.
Look at him standing
Lifts
there.
up, slides out.
And then we see 1,000 hands.
Then we see, yes. First up, here we go. We're going to just take these out of the box. There's nothing on the back of the insert to worry about this time. So we're just going to start from here. I've already opened up my instructions. They are so
Yeah,
important.
everybody, for those of you that don't know, Guy is a big instructions guy, and we suggest you also check out these instructions. I know it's very tempting to dive right into the toy, but Guy has taught me the importance of reading the book.
This one here, yes. If this is your first time with any of them that have the light up lightsaber interchangeable hand feature, it's definitely important to read. That's going to be a little scary. It was scary for myself as well.
Really?
Yeah. This is a very neat feature, but because it's something we're not used to, we're used to interchanging hands. We're not used to yanking them apart at their elbows.
Yeah.
And that's a little different. So things that we see inside the instructions is, here we go. I love doing it. I know. There's nothing like having a turntable for instructions. But it's going to show us our different force hands, the special light up arm, which I'm going to pull out and we'll demonstrate in a little bit, as well as the mobility of it.
Terry Smith says, I too always read the directions. Yes.
And you are somebody
He's a
I'd like to
poser.
go have a
Yes,
beer with.
He's such a poser.
I would. I will go have a beer with that person. Also on the other side, it's going to talk a little bit about how we're going to use the different lightsaber hilt attachments, as well as the hologram projector. right.
This is a very important piece of
Yes.
information. Daryl let us know that Christopher Lee holds the Guinness record for tallest leading actor.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they decide what the
I
lead
don't
is?
know.
Yeah, not sure. Well, it
tall was
is neat. If you were lucky enough to get the Anakin figure that Hot Toys did, that was a Comic-Con exclusive, that figure is a little bit shorter than this one. So he as far as scale wise, they didn't just go with a standard. He does have a bit of length.
Were you a fan of the hilt of his lightsaber when
Oh,
it came out? Did you like that?
I thought it was so different. In fact, that's one of the features on this particular figure I like so much. I mean, not only is the portrait sculpt so great, but that was so different.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd had our standards in our first films, and then the double-bladed Maul came out, and that was so neat. And you're like, well, how do you top that? And I don't know necessarily if it's topped, but it's just so different.
It seems very elegant.
And because Christopher Lee was an actor who'd fenced and done a lot of different things, I think they went with this more elegant design. In fact, I think he was a little bit involved in it. So inside the box, what we've removed off that top was the different hands, and we'll get to those in a bit, as well as our lightsaber attachments and such on the long case. Underneath the long case are going to be your force
Your
wielding,
lightnings.
your force lightnings. Okay, there are two different ones. According to the instructions, there are two hands they suggest using it with. I think they could probably go on other ones, but we'll go with what they've suggested when we show that off.
I mean, if you're not going to follow the instructions.
If you're not going to follow the instructions, why do you have them?
Will says about the lightning. Does anyone else get nervous playing with the lightning effects?
I would be.
You might get shocked.
I would be.
Is it the shock?
No, they seem frat. Like,
That's
it's just
shocking.
anything thin and long for me with a toy, I'm always like, I'm a lummox. Like, I'm a big monster. So I'm afraid I'm going to snap everything I come into contact with.
Well, since we brought that up, why don't we do a force one right now? According to the instructions, I'm going to pull out the hand that they suggest, which is an open hand, which I'm going to put up on the turntable. This is his open splayed hand.
Nice.
Okay,
It's a good hand.
It's a good hand with that kind of arching.
I like it.
But
It looks like he's about to shoot lightning out of those fingers.
Exactly. So you were saying, does anybody else get nervous? It's actually quite malleable. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not worried that I'm going to snap this thing. It's not really hard plastic. So to do it, kind of slide the hand in. I think you can do this a number of different ways, depending on the way in which you want to pose it. But as long as you kind of clip it in. Yes.
Sorry, about the material. Is it more brittle or is it more bendy?
It's much
very
more
bendy.
bendy.
Yeah.
It's much more bendy. I think in past, they've probably heard us say we're nervous.
Yeah.
And chosen to maybe do different materials. But I'm just kind of locking it onto the fingers, giving it a little bit of wiggle and movement, and I think you can kind of do it however you'd like to do it.
And then
This isn't really as much the posing show as telling you what we've got going on with it. But.
I mean, you think about it, and like because it is lightning, I guess it's not.
Yeah,
Like, you don't. It doesn't have to go like directly into the four fingertips.
right.
or
There's
something
not.
like
There's
that.
not there's not a hole
Right.
in it or anything like that. Can we see that? So we're just going to kind of.
There you go.
That looks pretty badass, though.
Yeah.
To be
So
100% honest.
It's really cool.
So you do have that's a very neat option that we're going to be doing. The other accessories that come in with him are the holograms, and I think these are really cool.
I love these.
These are really neat because it had that reveal that we hadn't seen before. See if we can show it. I may have to lift this one up,
I
but
just want to really quick jump back to the lightning. Terry says, I have yet to break any lightning and I break everything. So,
well,
if that
there,
makes anybody feel better.
there you go. There you go. If this person isn't breaking it, then I think you're okay.
Yeah.
That's Terry. That's Terry of How to Be a Poser,
Poser.
Terry.
Oh,
Yeah,
Terry.
And
if he's not breaking
Is Terry
lightning,
watching the show? That is
Yeah.
awesome. That is awesome. I didn't know that.
Can we just talk about how that's my favorite thing that has happened so far on the show? Is how giddy you got knowing that Terry
is watching our show.
how to be a
Yes, you
poser.
have a fan in me, sir. I love watching it. We get the hologram projector, and we get 4 different options. There is a little hole in it. Let's try and see if we can get it close. There, that is going to hold all of our different options. They do have a little peg. I'm going to pull out my favorite, which was a reveal we were all so excited to see. And that was the secret plans are the Death Star. When you use this particular piece, there is a hand that goes with it that you're going to put up next to it as well.
So that's that hand for the.
This is, yes.
That holds the projector.
This is the projector hand, and I am going to do it now.
It's funny because up until you just took that piece out, I 100% forgot that they did that Death Star reveal.
Yeah.
Through holograms. Is that nothing against any makers of any films? And I actually really love Christopher Lee and Star Wars in general, but I totally forgot that was a thing. So that I just got a new reveal,
Yes.
like a re-reveal.
So there we go.
Oh, that does look really good like that.
That's the little one there. I'm going to take it out of the hand just so I'm able to play with it a little bit more. We also have Darth Sidious. We can put that in there.
I love the way they do the kind of the ridges in there.
The ridges to give it the
There's
hologram effect.
The texture that they put into those. I mean, obviously, when you look at these larger pieces, the texture and the quality of the larger pieces is cool, but the impact of the textures in something that small is, I think, really like sort of the cherry on the sundae for me.
Yeah. It's so neat to see that. So we get one of Sidious. We get a Jango Fett
Oh, cool.
as well. And the other is Roger.
Roger.
Yep. Got to have our little battle droid army guy. And again, all 3 of those have that texture that we just now talked about. It's really neat. I dig that little accessory. Let's get to the figure himself, and then we're going to talk lightsabers. All right. Up and out of the box.
Take that off. That's a
Remove
choking
that off.
hazard. That
And
bag is not a toy.
here we have an incredible portrait of Mr. Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that's really the thing I think that really sort of stands this piece out is just the detail in the face.
Is the
sculpt.
detail in the face. This we haven't had a Dooku other than the Kenner Hasbro one that we got a while back, but
Yeah, let's get his look at his face. Like have him look up at the lights so you can really see that detail in that face. Like that's actually a really good defiant pose right there.
yeah. Well, if we want to talk about the sculpt, hopefully you've all seen episode 3. You're going to ask me if I can do it. Yes, we can. That allows us to get the close-up. But if you want to display it and you do have that Anakin figure, there you go. All right, that's your option.
Wow, imagine the type of person.
Some of them watch the show. Great paint work. Look at the age spots over by the temples here.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And in the forehead, very tight lines in the hair.
Look at the cheekbones.
The cheekbones.
Like,
the
that really stands out really
The sunken on the cheek itself. The beard work on there is spectacular. It has a natural looking texture to it. The paint on it, we're under a little bit of bright light here, but to see the variance of the gray and the white.
Yeah, up close, it's a really good. It's a really good gradient.
It is a spectacular print. Now, because it's that same type of neck, if you lucked out, yes, you can have Christopher Lee astronaut figure.
Oh, there
Okay.
it is.
Or you could take that Christopher Lee and
Count
put it on
Stanley.
that Batman that we did last week.
There you
So
go.
we're moving away in many of the Hot Toys that we've been recently seeing. We're moving away from that joint that used to be along the neck and going to the full sculpted neck.
We've got JJ Joe saying we now have a new show, Beheaded.
Yes, yes. I don't know who we're going to get to host that. Oh, but apparently we do have someone.
I'll do it.
So there's
yanking
our
it.
sculpt
Yes.
on him. Incredible sculpt. I'm going to set it off to the side so we can talk a little bit about the outfit. Yes, I'm showing it to you without the portrait sculpt on here, but that's just to show a little bit more of the detail. You've got the chain holding his cape on. We're going to spin this around because I want you to see the detail work and stitching in the cape itself. All right. Don't know if the question's been asked yet, but I'm going to answer. Is there a wire in the cape? No. No, there is not. So if you've seen some of the photos that have it kind of whiffing around, that's...
There's another question about the cape. Is it double lined?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to flip this over so we can see it.
And Jonathan says he thinks this is one of Hot Toys' best head sculpts.
It's an incredible sculpt.
Yeah.
So yes, there we go on our lining.
And I think that probably might have to do with why it's not a wired with the double lining.
Yes,
weight
because
of
the
it
inner lining on it, if you watch it again, didn't go all the way to the base of the cape.
Yes.
So,
So it's separated. And it's kind of heavy as far as that.
it's heavy. This
is
is a velvet, which is just, it's velvet and very nice that you would have that. It wasn't until I removed the cape and looked at him like this that I realized that his under tunic is very similar to what we see later on in the Imperials.
This is very
With the,
disturbing.
okay, well, I'm sorry. If there are those of you that are disturbed and you don't want to watch this live, I understand.
But you're right. It is sort of a prototype for the Imperial tunic.
It's a bit of a prototype. Let's get down with the rest of the outfit. Just without the cape, I wanted everybody to see it. We're going to spin around the belt. There are two attachment points for the belt, kind of a Velcro in both the front and the back. He's got the nice ironed, straight back from the dry cleaner pants. Okay, he's got that nice front crease on those.
There it is.
And
That's
then,
a good pleat.
Yep.
It's
the
a
pleated-
solid pleat.
It's a solid pleat. Look at that. That is. And he has gotten obviously a fresh polish on the boots. They're great. These are an articulated ankle as well, and we don't really get too much bunching.
Oh, Joe says it also looks like Luke's tunic in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, he's good. This guy's good.
He's good.
This guy's good. I bet he's watched this show more than once. But now that we've talked about the boots, it's probably time to...
Uh-oh. What time is it, guy?
It is time for Tread Watch!
Tread
Dum.
Watch,
We're going to get a
Tom's
theme
Tread
for
Watch.
this, we swear.
It's Tom's Tread
Oh.
Watch. Yes, it is.
Remember, these are fancy riding boots, and they probably wouldn't have had any tread.
Isn't it crazy that in Attack of the Clones it actually said copyright Hot Toys on the bottom? It's
That was weird.
Weird
You only
prediction
saw
to
that
do
if you
that,
saw
yeah.
it in that high frame rate.
Yeah, no. If you get it in 4K, you can really
Yeah,
see
4K you can really see it.
But no, that's so. Yeah, those are. it's a dress boot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
And
makes
this is a
sense.
dress
Accurate.
riding boot. They kind of went back to that style that they did with Han and some of the others having the dress boot.
Well, like a dancing shoe as well,
yeah.
because when you're going to be gliding around doing a lot of that
Well,
stuff
his
too.
his character, yes, Christopher Lee didn't do all of the fighting, but that style that they had was much more elegant. But look at how small and tight the stitching is on that leather boot.
Oh,
Okay,
look
all
at
the
that
way
little
down.
boot.
I mean,
That's
all the way up
tiny.
the back of them as well. All right, so pretty darn neat that they've done that.
Yes, Rob says he's very light on his feet. That's true.
Yeah, there we go.
Sure.
I'm going to lift the left arm here so we can see the clip. Spin around. There is our clip for our saber. The saber, we're going to get into that in a little bit, but it actually comes with two little clips, and there's some things to discuss on working with that. So right now I'm going to put the cape and head back on.
Please put the head back on.
Yeah. Shall we put the?
Sooner
Okay, I
rather
guess
than
we
later.
should ask the audience. Are we going to talk about the mobility and the articulation with the cape off or cape on? Does anybody?
Does it affect it?
It doesn't. It doesn't affect it, but you're not going to be able to see it as
Gotcha,
well
so
if I
it's-
put the
I
cape
do it with
back on.
cape off. Then.
Okay, we're going to do it cape
Yeah.
off. Pop. Our head goes back on. All right, we still have all the motion we're going to need in that. Looking down, if you want, if you've pre-ordered Yoda, you want that confrontation scene.
Do you like that scene?
Somebody says the right arm looks like it's bending backwards. It might just be the fabric.
This one here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That was me fiddling with it.
Yeah.
Have I fixed it?
Fixed
think
it.
so.
Fixed it. Okay, good. That right arm is one we're going to talk a little bit more about. If this is your first hot toy with one of the light up saber arms, that's the arm itself. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. You get the full mobility as far as full up there. Get not quite to 90.
Yeah.
On the
Still
arm.
more mobile than Christopher Lee at the time.
Yes.
So
yes.
in that
You're
regard-
not going to have to. But another neat joint that I like is kind of this shoulder. We get to move backward and forward, and backward, forward. Again, just giving us a little bit.
A little bit more of that
more.
mobility.
Okay. Wrist articulation as well on this particular arm. Again, I do want to get into that with the lightsaber arm. Okay, we'll go with our waist. Okay, we're not doing a full bend, but the character wouldn't, and neither does Christopher Lee.
Now
so-
he's taunting Yoda.
Yes, now this is a taunting. He does have the pointing fingers as well, so he could be a scolding Count Dooku style.
Says, I was thinking of President Scrooge from Spaceballs when you had him spinning around before. Okay.
Yeah, well, if you happen to have the head of that figure, go right ahead and.
They want to know if he can be on his knees in preparation for the
Oh,
beheading.
see, wow! We wondered how long it was going to take to
Yeah.
get to that. All right. So what you people really want to see is, you
His imminent
sickos, is the rip his hands right off.
Yeah.
Oh no! Is that what you wanted?
Look,
Is
it's
this what
episode-
you wanted?
There is
it's
Do we
episode-
deliver?
Is this your king?
Is this
what you wanted
Is this
to
what you
see?
wanted to see? And yeah, well, I can't drop the cape over him without doing it. But yes, he can get down on his knees.
He can beg for his life.
So if you have
sick, twisted
the
monsters.
Anakin figure, there you go. Yep, there you go, folks. The pleading, handless Count Dooku as played by Christopher Lee. I knew they were going to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know
Do
why.
you have the Anakin?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yeah. I picked up that pre-order, and I have when Sideshow did the evil Anakin as an exclusive from the years back.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
So you could just do the whole. You could do
I can
all
do
of
them
episode
all.
3.
I can do them all. I can reenact many scenes.
Just have Order 66 taken out right in front of you.
Yes. I do like when people go through a drive-through somewhere and get Order 66 and then post their receipt.
Yes.
Have you noticed
Yeah.
that? I like
No.
when people do that.
And
Star Wars
Elroy-
fans will do that.
Elroy says all you need is Yoda to make it complete.
Correct, which Yoda's still available for pre-order.
Yeah. And we've got Yoda coming up on a future episode of Unsealed and Revealed.
I didn't know that, but that's awesome.
No one knew it until I said it just now.
Wow. Okay, well, that's an
I didn't
official
even know
announcement.
that.
Yep.
So, wow. Very
I
cool.
didn't know that, and I'm the host of the show.
Yes. Okay, so,
Did you know that George Lucas asked Christopher Lee to originally be Tarkin? A
yes.
little bit of trivia coming through.
That's
I
probably-
like this. I like this has become a trivia show. I
I
like
like
the
it too.
interactive
Lee
quality
said
of
no. It's probably why he chose Dooku.
this. Yes.
He's like, oh, maybe
Like, I should probably not make that error again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some other monster movie actor is going to get all my residuals.
Yes. All right. We're going to get into the lightsaber and those effects and the light effect on it. So
I love those motion lightsabers, by the way.
this is a neat effect, and it's one that we're gonna take a look at. I think we're even gonna dim the lights down here. So inside, getting a number of different things. getting the motion effect one, the ignited one, the arm that will allow it to light. We also have the batteries that come in there. Now, I've already pre-installed it, and I will talk about putting those in. And we've got these two little pegs that go on the side of the saber as kind of that clip to attach to the belt as well. We'll talk about that. But let's get into it as far as the... there we go. Maybe I should move this up to the turntable and we'll talk through it. All right. This is where my little tiny screwdriver comes in handy. All right. Right there. Your instructions will tell you what size batteries you're going to need if you're going to replace them, the AG4 LR626. But unlike in other times where we've had it say it somewhere on it, it does not say it on here.
The question is, how long did it take you to put the batteries in, and did any fly?
No, and I'll tell you, this is the trick that I do to not make them fly, is you're going to have that spring, I'm doing it backwards here, spring over on this side here, there we go. I'll put one battery in on the non-spring side, put the other one right under it, and then I actually take the third battery and sandwich it in between. This pushes the other two batteries apart, and I don't get that fling.
Okay.
Everything goes into place.
You're like a guy. That sounds like a guy who's done this once or twice.
I have lost a battery or two in my life.
It looks like a Terminator arm because of the way it's set up.
Yes. So we're gonna. So that's the batteries. Is this incredibly difficult? No. I mean, as you've asked in the questions, how was it? Did you have any fly out or anything like that? No. But we do want to talk a little bit about this arm. In your instructions, it's also going to talk about the assembly of this one here, but also going to talk about that it is a non-detachable hand. This hand does not come off. Okay? This hand rotates.
Keep the circuit, right?
Exactly. It rotates, but it does not have an up and down motion. Okay? I'm not able to tweak it up or down here. It only is going to rotate. All right.
Question: is it safe to wrap a small piece of tape around the three batteries and slot them in all as one piece? Do you know?
Seems like
I don't see that would be a problem. But remember, the battery compartment that it's going to go into is pretty darn tight. So I think you're going to spend more time trying to cut tape that tight and that tiny and getting those flat in. You can try it. Try that sandwich technique I just talked about and see if that works for you. That's tended to be one I've always been able to count on for it. So next up on here, we've got our little switch. All right? Little switch right here. Give that a flick, and it's going to illuminate out.
Ooh, that actually looks great on the camera.
Now, woof, there we go. So with this one here, we can use either of our blades. The lightsaber that we get in the package is one that's just the hilt, we'll call it, but you can also remove the blade. So we're going to take that blade and ignite our saber. We're going to turn down the studio lights a little bit so you can see how that goes. There we go.
Nice.
Spooky.
You know, the red is always difficult in the lighting. It's going to be brighter at the emanation point in the very beginning and kind of taper, and then the end will be a lot brighter. But again, you see we get that bright effect, and that's new. We didn't used to have the light up sabers unless we had like a premium format or something like that.
Yeah.
We didn't have them in a 6 scale.
One of the comments is the blade seems long. Does that seem...
No, it's the correct scale for it. The lightsabers in the prequels were longer. Why exactly they adjusted in size, I'm not sure. Okay.
Stronger kyber crystals.
There we go. Stronger kyber crystals. Available at Galaxy's Edge. So here is our motion.
God, I love these ones.
This is really neat. It's going to have a kind of a fade technique as well as the motion. Okay, it is heavy. I mean, it's got obviously a lot more weight than a single little light up stick. We're going to put it in there. Be careful that you've got that hook that's part of Dooku's, that you don't just wedge the thing in there the wrong way or you're going to snap that off. But there is our motion sense of it. I'm going to lay it down on the turntable so you can see a little bit more of the motion aspect.
Yeah, they look really great in real life.
Yeah,
They just,
it's a
really
neat
cool.
idea. It's a neat idea to have. Now, this is probably the arm I would put on my figure. I think I'd always want him with the saber. That saber was very neat. But this is where we're not going to necessarily do it. We'll talk through it. And that is removing and reattaching the arms. Okay, this is something we're not used to doing. We're used to swapping out hands, but pulling something on off the arm at the elbow joint here. You see the large, spin that around there for you. The large peg, it does snap in there. Okay, and there's obviously one on the arm itself. Now this is tight tailoring on the outfit. The outfit is really not one you remove. If you did, getting it back tight on the body, to me, sounds a little risky. So I simply wouldn't do it. I've played around. I did remove the arm and put the other one back. This would be the one I'd go with because I think I'm always going to want him either holding that saber or having the lit version. Okay, yeah. But you do have either option to do. All right. If you want to do it, yep.
I was going to say, this process, you got to be very careful with this, right?
Yes. We already did our, down on the knees pose. If you like, we can do it and remove the arm. I just want everybody to know that takes quite a bit of time and delicacy to do it. You're going to want to make sure that
this show is the limited time. So
we're not. Just like when I'm asked about the poses that I'll do with these things. If I was at home, I'm probably going to spend a few hours to get it just right and tweak it just a little bit.
A few hours?
Oh yeah.
I can see that.
Oh yeah. So I'm not doing that here at the moment, but I really just want to walk you through.
We'll sit for a few hours. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Is anybody else doing? Does anybody
Everyone
else
go
have
get
plans?
A snack. It's fine.
I'm at an hourly rate. You can take as much time as you want. I'll just chill out back here.
We'll turn on some tunes. You go put in the microwave popcorn and
turn on some Floyd. Let's start playing with arms, man.
Well, I would probably put on John Williams just to be,
why?
Kind of go. Well, just the connection. So inside with the sabers, we have two little pegs.
Tyler says it's his day off. Go for it.
Yeah, buddy. I like how he parties.
Yes.
Ain't no party like an unsealed and revealed party, because an unsealed and revealed party is roughly an hour.
It's roughly an hour.
Never
Even when I really thought that this one was probably going to go pretty quickly because there wasn't as many little trinkets to worry about, but no, this is pretty intricate. Yeah. I'm going to put them on the yellow cloth, microfiber, as I want to have the contrast with the black, but there are the two little pegs that will come with it. The one that has the second little notch here, that is so when you attach it to the saber, you can attach it to the belt. The other is a little further in there, and that's just to have more of a screen accurate look if you're putting it in his hand. Okay, so that's that one there, but we're gonna pop the one in and we'll...
So far we have no one against the idea of just sitting here for hours looking at toys.
Guys, I love this.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
And then Dinky says, oh boy, it looks like those are lost already.
Yeah, I was going to say that with those little pins, I'm like, I would have lost those opening.
Yeah,
yes.
They're already gone.
So, that's why we talked about a couple of things here. I'm going to put that one, I'm going to put that peg that has the notch to put it. I'm going to put it on that saber with the blade removed. I'm going to take the other one. Actually, you know what? The other one is already inside. I didn't notice until I looked real closely here. The other one's already inside the lightsaber, so there's really no reason to have it. So, I mean, figured I was going to do both, but I don't have to worry about it. But that way, you get your figure with the saber on the belt.
When he's busy doing diplomacy.
Well,
If you're going to do, say you want to do an Attack of the Clones meeting of the Separatists,
Yes.
where they're doing diplomatic talk, you don't have
we
your
go.
lightsaber out for that.
Look at that saber, though. That was really neat. I mean, it had a red trigger.
Oh, there's a question about
Yes.
the belt. How does it come? Is it a removable clasp?
Yeah,
or magnet,
yeah, it
or
is.
so?
It was. It's Velcro right in the back there. You see that?
Oh yeah, okay.
In fact, I had just lifted it a little bit and tweaked it somewhat. So that's that one there. Yes?
Good question. Do the hologram figures, they don't light up, do they?
No. No, they don't. They're kind of done in that texture that
Yeah.
we just now, that
Yeah.
Jeff
They
talked about, which is really neat. But there is no light up. However,
They receive light
they
really
are,
well.
they are, yeah. The light actually kind of goes through them enough that
Yeah, whatever
set it
the
next to.
whatever the
lighting.
plastic is or
It
whatever
really,
it is that they're using.
Yeah, it really kind of
receives-
has a glow to it.
It's like incandescent by itself.
Yeah, yeah. But I was thinking the same thing. I think you would have had to have a whole lot of unique control. You probably had to have a whole different hand and another arm to switch out and all to do it. And because they are kind of a thinner plastic as far as the light going through, you can really see the light through. So that's with just natural light on it that you see in that shot there.
There was a question. So you went to Warner Brothers to prep for the Batfleck figure. How did you prep for this show?
This show here, I rewatched episode 2 and 3.
Okay.
Ooh, wow, that is a sacrifice
that
for
is,
your art.
you know, sadly, I was there wasn't the option to go to Lucasfilm. But if anybody watching the show knows people, no, I do know a few, but I've not gone.
One of my favorite things about doing this show with you guys that you take this. You're so into this. You take it so seriously, and you do a massive amount of prep, like an amount of prep where like you're the kid that does their homework so well that the rest of the class is like, oh come on, man, you're making us.
You're making us look bad.
You watched nearly 6 hours of prequel Star Wars films.
Yes. Which is fun.
Question, another question. I think they're talking about the hologram.
Uh-huh.
It says, not really what it's meant for, but would it fit the end of the light up saber?
Would
to light it.
No, they are a different size. Let me move Dooku here, and I'm going to show the different peg size.
He says, hey, what'd you do at work today? Oh, nothing, just watch 2 movies.
Just watched 2 movies. Yeah, I've got an interesting side life, I guess. Can we see on there? I'm trying to do the yellow
it's
to
a
give
much
us.
thinner peg. Yeah.
So you've got a tinier peg and then a much thicker. So also, it wouldn't be long enough because of the little hook he's got there. So sadly, no.
Roger.
Yeah, get a little LED and point it at it and light it that way if you like.
Just
at
get a
home.
big mag light.
Yeah,
and
a mag light will work.
Blast it with
It'll work spectacularly. But yeah, so I dig the accessories on it. I think he's really fun with it. The light up saber and the motion thing is something new. It's something we've not done a bunch with.
Yeah, that's only been about 4.
Yeah, there haven't been a
that
ton
have
of them.
motion.
So.
But they really do look great for the
But they
dynamic
really
posing.
do look great, particularly on this one here, in that the red is always a lot harder. The green sabers or a blue saber or something like that, they always seem to light a little bit brighter. The red tends to get lost. So I want to just put his hands back on.
Yeah, I've been getting creeped out by him for the past 20 minutes. So if you want to do that, I'm okay with it.
that was what our audience wanted to do. Inside.
They sometimes steer us to some dark places.
Yeah, you
but
do.
we go there.
But and I'm more than happy to go there.
They're like, can he be Dracula?
I mean,
Can't-
we said
you
it
know-
was an interactive show, so
Yeah.
this is an interactive show.
So, it's neat that you bring that up. You said, could he be Dracula? Now, Dracula, if he didn't have the beard, you could probably take a Sharpie and darken up the hair and it'd be good to go.
Here, I got a Sharpie here.
But it does, yes, let's do that.
Or give him like a long, gross wig and make him Saruman.
Oh, there are some questions.
Or Scaramanga from
Okay.
So there we go.
Speaking of the audience getting dark, do his legs come off?
He didn't have his legs cut off in the movie.
Maybe.
Yeah, but like,
What,
could
an
they?
But, like,
Anakin?
could we chop off
I'm
his
more than
legs?
happy to help you with an Anakin figure to rip legs off, but not that I'm aware. I didn't try that. No, I'm going to say no. His
Another
legs
question.
don't get ripped off.
Another question. Do you know if it's possible to buy spare blades in different colors? I don't think so. I feel like they all just come with whatever.
No,
figure.
as far as I know, they come
Yeah.
with only what they come with. I don't think
Right.
they hey, do you want to?
A
Get a
Dooku
blue one.
Jedi.
Yeah, do you want to
Because
get?
he was a Jedi at one
Well,
point.
true,
right,
and
in that
we
part?
never had a. I think they would probably tell you that there also was never a light changing. It didn't go from blue to green at some point. But no, if you needed a replacement because you broke one, that's probably different, and you could contact probably
Yes.
Hot Toys directly and say that, hey, I broke my saber.
So just lie.
Yeah.
Just lie
Yes,
and say you
exactly,
broke
until
a blue
they
one.
ask for a receipt. But there I
curses.
wanted to show just how his how it looks on the hilt with a little of that double.
Nice.
Of course, we could never handle this with our knowledge of the Force,
Exactly.
but with our skills with
How
a
would we-
lightsaber.
With a lightsaber.
My
Lightsaber.
favorite line in all of Star Wars: a lightsaber.
Joe wants to know: is there a white shirt underneath the tunic, or just white cuffs at his
Just
sleeves?
white cuffs.
Okay.
There's just the white cuffs. I'm gonna kind of flip back here so we can see that. They are. You really don't even see them until you're doing a pose like that. And it wasn't until I did the arm change that I noticed it. And they are delicate.
Matt says, "Dear Hot Toys, I broke all my colored lightsabers. Can I please get some new ones?"
You know, as long
They
as you
will
do
send you
please
the
and
bill.
thank you, as long as you do please and thank you, it's going to go a lot further with them. The little white cuff that's in there, I used my little flat screwdriver to kind of tug on it and pull it and make sure that they were shown, kind of like having that nice tight cuff link on a tuxedo, the French cuff. When you are doing the switch out of the right arm, you'll find out that that's not a full white shirt that goes underneath. It's only a very small little cuff that's been stitched on there, pretty delicate. Only about a 1/4 inch of it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's like a dickie, but for sleeves.
Exactly. Let's show off the other hands, and then I will do the dangerous thing of removing an arm, if you like. Let's see. So this is one that you've already seen, which is the one you're going to use for
The
hologram projector.
talking, yeah.
getting really close to a Harrison Ford pointy finger. Getting close.
That's a get off my plane finger.
That's a get off my
But
plane.
if you're 80.
The two-fingered point, which is when he launches the guys against the wall. You have some gripping hands as well
You get it.
for the sabers. And then that flat force hand we spoke of.
So yeah, he comes with a lot of hands. This is a very, and they all look really good.
And they all,
too.
they've all actually been given some paint work as well. These aren't just a standard molded and go. They've given a little bit of that. They have that veining done in the hands, as you can see in these. They've done the paint work as far as around the knuckle and other to give a translucency where you see kind of the red tones underneath. So it's he's a neat guy. He does come with his stand, his base as well. We'll move that off here and show off our base. We can take the plastic off it. The base is that interior chamber that was in the episode 2.
Somebody who has joined us a little bit late wants to know if it comes with Force Lightning, and it sure does.
It does. It does come with Force Lightning. 2 types of
Look at
Force
that.
Lightning.
Right on the base.
Dave,
Right on the
he
base.
says, would it be possible to heat up the hand so we can make him do finger guns? No.
You can.
You
can. You can do what you like because they're your toys.
We at Sideshow Collectibles, of course,
This
do
is
not
this will
endorse.
also be why I say buy 2 of everything, which I do with most of my
So
stuff.
you can make
so
finger
I can do
guns.
stuff like that and then go, wow, that was a poor choice. Thankfully, I have a very, very understanding person in my life who lets me do that.
Here's a question. Do they have Lee's fingerprints replicated on those hands?
Yes, they are.
surprised.
And they also, it's in the back pocket. I didn't take it out. There is a small Christopher Lee driver's license.
Yeah, a little tiny
as well.
wallet.
I have no idea.
I
if
just
they-
like to think of Jedi carrying wallets.
Exactly. They were Velcro.
Just like the belt.
Just like the future. He does have his stand. You notice I have not used it yet, and that's because I don't really think he needs to. However, he does come with the base. Let's remove. The nice part, they give us these nice chrome plates, and then all of them do have
That little film on it to protect
film on it, so you don't get a scratched one.
And they got those. It's like that museum plate.
Mm-hmm.
That,
Yep. But there he is on stand. And
That fabric does drape nicely, though. for
there
the-
he is.
I'm
Yes,
noticing.
yes. At first, I will say I was kind of disappointed, saying I really wanted to have a wire in it because I wanted kind of that flowing and some of the action shots that we saw in some of the promo photos. But if that would have adjusted how this thing laid, I think that would have been kind of a bummer because it does lay so nicely.
does lay
It does have a natural weight to it.
There's a question.
Okay, sure. If you giggle, that means the question's off.
Can I unlock Christopher Lee's iPhone using the Hot Toys face sculpt?
Yes, yes.
I mean,
He had the iPhone 10, I believe. So yes, you can.
right before he passed.
Yes, yes. That was his
That
last.
is a funny idea, though, that you could
So-
get like a Keanu.
Well,
you could
if-
get like a John Wick and
You
just
just have to
steal
get a hold of
Keanu's
his
phone
phone.
Yeah, I mean,
and just use the
so
John
there you
Wick.
go. Well, you know, the phone came with the Spider-Man we did, so you could put the phone in his hand there and have it's Christopher Lee on a cell phone. I don't know how you pose them.
Could have that coffee as well.
Yes.
And you could have Christopher Lee on break during Attack of the Clones.
I want to get as many of those coffee cups as I can
Kind of a little direct-
to reenact all of my Game of Thrones
We just got to
segments.
keep telling Hot Toys we broke our coffee cups.
I broke my coffee cup.
I broke
However,
my-
thankfully my lightsabers are still
my-
intact.
My Scarlet Spider coffee cup.
Yes.
Get a little 6-scale director's chair.
Yes.
And then we can make just the behind-the-scenes footage. From
Yes,
different
of that one there.
movies of people with, you know.
So here we have it. This is our Christopher Lee, Count Dooku. I really dig this. I mean, I think I'll probably have it hand behind where he's almost kind of having the saber as the drawing pistols. Kind of a fun idea. But I'm sure How to Be a Poser, which is really cool he's watching, we'll have a neat pose that he's going to do with this one here. Are there questions regarding this arm change?
People seem to just most be worried
Most-
about what they can do
what
to
they can and-
Christopher Lee's
Yeah.
legacy.
With the legacy. Can I unlock his residuals?
Yeah. So like, if I'm trying to break into Christopher Lee's house, could I use this and put it in like the
Could
camera?
I use it on the camera?
The
Yes,
security
you could, and they would think that he was
Would a
there.
retina scan work?
It does work on a retina scan. We tried that earlier in the lobby
Yeah, with our retina scanner.
with
in
our
the
retina
lobby.
scanner here.
Really
The
high detail.
The Sideshow
Yeah.
retina scanner that they've got. So again, like I said, the neat part is you have the opportunity of doing him as both episode 2 and 3 because the outfit didn't change. So if you have an Anakin, way to go, congratulations. If you don't, you can also get the Yoda. Is that available for pre-order now? Or is it waitlisted?
I think it is still. I think it's
Okay.
available for pre-order.
And you could
starting
have
right
Yoda
now.
So
cut off his
yeah,
head.
so and that one
There
will
he is.
light green, and then you can interchange them. Maybe you've got Yoda saber that turns red. I don't know. I let you do what you want to do, people.
Yeah, he's available for pre-order, and it says arriving September. So
All right.
any day.
Oh, he's also very affordable.
Oh, Jamie says he would like to see a live pose-off of the same figure by Terry and Guy and another Sideshow staff member. See what would happen.
Oh,
All
okay.
posing the same
Is it also
figure.
going to be like a drinking game where oh no, he did the knee wrong.
I'll do
He's
the
got to
pose.
do a shot.
I'll do the
or
pose
something.
and I'll be like, look, it's him standing.
It's him standing.
He's joined the
Here he-
military
here
and
he
he's
is
standing at
stoic.
attention. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but and the stoic would probably win every time. Well, let's light up Saber one more time because it's just it's a neat thing to be able to do that in a 1/6. So having that.
So cool.
There it is.
1/6
Look at
light
that.
up.
Old 3-arm Dooku.
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
like
turn
to
the
call
lights
him.
down. There we go.
Nice.
Being able to do that.
It's like a friend came from behind his clothes.
Yeah.
Like, hold it.
Remember that when you do that, where like one of your friends would
Yes.
come behind and you'd be like human puppets?
Yeah, there we go. So yeah. Well, I didn't want to yank the arm off. I will say again that is it's a delicate thing. It's going to take you a while to do it. You're probably going to be nervous unless you've done it before. But even myself, because it's a very tight joint.
They're requesting saber noises.
Which one? Blue sabers or red
I
sabers?
think red.
Oh, well, that's a.
There you go.
It's much. Yeah,
Solid.
it's much more of a hum.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was more of a whoop, 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 whoop in the blue ones.
Yeah,
So-
that's true. So yes, the answer is yes.
So yeah.
What?
Can Guy do saber noises?
No, I
Can
mean,
guy
I
do
got
saber
it.
noises?
I like how he's like, I can. I'm not
I can-
going.
gonna.
to.
I'm not going to unless I
Yes.
get 7 likes. No. Notice I always aim low.
Yeah, I was saying, like, that's a
already-
very doable move.
That's a doable thing.
Unless I get 2 people watching.
So you're saying
one
you
of them
want to
will.
do it?
Nice.
It's a fun figure. It's something we haven't seen. It's going to be able to go with 2 other figures, so which is neat. But it's also a standalone. And somebody asked about how great it is as a Christopher Lee. Obviously, you wouldn't be saying, can he retina scan and can he do this and can I fake it if you didn't realize just how great the portrait is.
No, the portrait really is, I think, the seller. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea of the light up saber on a 6 scale.
You got all kinds of likes.
Oh my
coming
God,
in.
the
Oh,
lights are
yes!
The
blowing
likes
up.
Yes.
are just here, Guy. Look.
Guy, if you
like.
Oh, so he's yeah.
See, he
Yes,
did
I
it.
do
He did
these.
it.
Yes,
Nice.
I do these all the time. When I'm alone or with other people.
Well, then they say during episode 1 they had to keep cutting.
They had to
telling
keep telling
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor
McGregor
stop
to
making
knock
these
it off,
noises.
quit doing the sounds. Yep, that was pretty funny. But we all did it, and we all still do it. The next, I mean, we're amazed that we now get a light up one. Get a little sound bite of a saber and put it next to it on your speakers, and then you can also have the sound.
Get an old talk boy. Tape
A talk
recorder,
boy,
and then
yes,
just play
I'd
it.
love to have a talk boy.
You do a 6 scale talk boy.
A 6-scale talk
That's
boy.
what we got to do. A 6 scale Kevin
6-scale
McAllister.
Oh.
So.
Oh, yeah, somebody had asked to see the head who came in a little later. So there
you
you
came
go.
in
I
late-
think it was you, Danky, that wanted to see the head. There you go.
There is just the head. There is that specialty arm we talked about. I'm going to lift the arm up so we can see the...
Jesus, this looks like a crime scene.
Well, you know...
There's a severed head and a ripped off ripped off arm.
This is Star Wars SVU.
There was a question from earlier that I didn't ask yet,
Okay.
but was the arm easy to take off, or did you need to use elbow grease?
Waka waka.
Okay, so
fingers.
that's something I want to talk about. When they tell you about it in here, about detaching normal right arm. To interchange into lighty, first detach the gloved hand and right forearm as indicated. If we can do that.
Oh, Rob says, I'd love to see light up force lightning in the future. That would be really cool.
Agreed.
It would be neat.
Yes.
It would be neat. I think that's there's our next step.
So it says
it's
there you have to squiggly.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not-
squiggly line it.
I'm not going to play it off that it wasn't a little bit freaky to pull that joint. This is a very tight joint. I don't think it's meant that you would interchange this every few days or every week or anything like that. I think it's more of a, you make the decision. And most people that are going to want that light up saber thing, once you're going to get that arm in there, you're
Just gonna
probably going to leave it that way. It's a delicate thing to do once you're trying to put the new arm in. You're going to be bunching up the fabric here. There's that light cuff I told you about in the arm. So let's see. I'm going to remove the hand, see if maybe we have a really talented camera crew here.
JJ says that looks like Star Wars CSI.
There we go.
The
But
body parts.
But would you also, well, no, CSI didn't do bump bump. Law and Order does the bump
yeah.
bumps, and I kind of want the bump bumps.
I don't think we can do that. We'll get sued by
You're
Law
right.
and Order.
You're right.
We just have to-
You're right.
And then we'll be on our own episode of Law and
Yeah.
Order.
Law and
about
Order.
it.
I'm gonna try and shoot this straight at camera so you can see that. There's that little cuff underneath. It doesn't go all the way up. In fact, you know what? I like you people. I got 7 likes, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so you're
crazy.
good.
You got
That's
a couple hundred
basic-
likes.
That's crazy. So this is, that cuff is delicately in there and is only about a 1/4 inch.
Look at that.
Okay. Now, the thing is, the one that we received, the stitching was a little loose on it. So he's kind of just set in there. But thankfully, you don't really see it.
Yeah, it just stays.
It's just kind of pushed back. But you'll notice when you're going to move that arm back and forth to get to that joint, that's going to move along. So you might be okay if it goes, because then you can set it in.
On Facebook, a lot of the wow emojis showed up when you took the cuff out.
Yes.
Many wows.
Okay, so it's right here that we're going to be removing. Okay, that's your joint.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Right?
It happened.
It's getting real in here.
It's getting real.
It's getting real.
All right.
We originally were like, we're probably not going to do this. We
Yeah,
don't have
I
enough
didn't think
time.
I was going to do this,
And
but
then guys like, we don't have enough time,
then,
but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
But well, we may end our show before we
Yeah.
get it completely done. But there inside, you're going to have to pull this up, and inside is your prong.
Jamie says we're just cutting it now. We're just
Yes.
cutting him into pieces. At this
Yeah,
point.
well, you know.
Yeah.
Wow, that time it
But
worked.
a flesh
Oh, look.
wound. Oh,
Okay.
wow.
You know, I really
Wow.
made it sound like
That was so fast.
I was so frightened by doing that, and then it did go
Wow, it's
pretty,
like Y2K all over again.
Yes.
pretty easy for me. Yes, it was Y2K. No, I did spend about 20 minutes or more with this figure when we first got it today, just a little before we came on air, and it was a frightening thing to do it. So.
That actually wasn't bad.
Yeah, I walked in, you were a little concerned.
Oh.
Yeah,
Jamie-
I said, I'm a little freaked by this.
Jamie pointed out you forgot the cuff though.
Thank you, Jamie. Yes. I did forget the cuff.
You forgot the cuff.
Yeah, we're not gonna redo it right now, because what we really want to do is light this thing up with it in his hand.
Nice.
So
And then we'll see his skills with a lightsaber.
lightsaber.
My job.
This is our jobs. Remember that
Yeah.
stupid line in that movie?
Yeah, I mean, when somebody says case of the Mondays and this is my Monday, come
Right?
on.
Right.
Come on. So there we go. That's with it lit
That's
in
awesome.
front of him,
Oh, can we get that?
ready for duel.
Here we go.
There we go. Look
oh,
at that.
nice.
Look at that. The light coming from my lightsaber.
I want him to say that I'm going to call you from my car just so I can hear that the entire
I'll do
drive
it.
back.
I'll do it, guy. We got each other's numbers. We'll do that.
Yes. But there you go. There's the with the illuminated hand. I didn't, when you said the cuff, and yes, I understand I didn't put it back in. I realized that after I popped the thing in so easily. I didn't even know it had the cuff until I was trying to put the thing back in and found out how difficult it was because of the way the cuff is put on there. So,
You're like, oh, a cuff.
and I was like, wait a second, what is this? But there we go. So there's his lit saber, and
He says, I don't think I'd hold a lightsaber that close to my face. Probably not.
Why don't you watch the movie and see that he does?
He's just like that.
Yeah, he's just
I was gonna say, if you hold it up there, it just seems like he's waving it back and forth in front of his
My
face.
God, he's look.
Hey, look, I got a lightsaber.
It's like a kid on the 4th of July with a glow stick.
He's got a sparkler. Yay! You're like,
Stop it.
Check out, everybody, I've got myself a lightsaber.
So there is the action
Sweetie.
action
I
version.
really love those action sabers, though, those blades. I really, really do. If you're into dynamic posing,
If you're into dynamic
These are
posing
such a
and you
great-
get the Yoda with
Making
it,
a diorama.
I
yeah.
think you'll probably wind up doing it. They really look best or when lit. When they're not lit, it's a different kind of look.
That's
If we want to dim the light one more time so you can see that motion look while it's in his hand.
now make him move. Make him move, guy. Make him move. Come on, do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, get them likes. You earned them. Look at that. He's testing his skills with a lightsaber.
Yes. Yes.
Instead of our knowledge of the Force.
Make sure you see his comedy shows so you can hear him do that.
Hey, this isn't about promoting me. This is about promoting this fantastic 6-scale Count Dooku by Hot Toys. Complete
Yes, but what
with
I'm going to
2
suggest that the audience do is
lightsabers.
bring their Count Dooku to the show, and he will interact with your figure live on stage, which is spectacular.
One of the comments says the way he's holding the lightsaber, it just looks like he's vacuuming the rug.
Again, folks, this is not about the posing as much, but yes,
Count Dooku Mary Maid
Count
edition.
Dooku, this is,
It looks like he's blind using the lightsaber as a seat.
Perhaps I will find my way around here with a lightsaber.
with a lightsaber. Okay, it was too close to the face. Now he's walking the dog.
Yeah, that's
Now
why
he's-
he blinded himself. It was
Yes,
too close
he
to his
gets
face.
too close.
But one of the things, oh, we got Guy.
Oh.
We broke Guy, everybody.
Nice.
Broken.
How do you
Nice.
break Guy?
Nice,
The
folks.
man is an expert in
and I have no idea anymore.
Jamie says I had this toy called a Skywriter where you type in a message and then shake it back and forth and the message would appear as flashes of the lights.
That would be
Yes.
it. That's what that is.
Yes,
Yep.
but just type
I
in
had one of
vacuum
those too,
cleaner.
Jamie.
So, it's
Vacuum
funny-
cleaner.
Because you said that everybody's going to go lightsaber pose for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think I would do like the Jango Fett.
The Jango?
Like he's on the phone.
Yeah.
I would use one of those. There's something
If it
about
wasn't the arm
those
switch
that
out
are really
again, I would do that and you kind of show off. You can always have the cape back a little bit that shows the deal. But anyway, there you go.
There he is.
There is
Great
there
job,
is Christopher
Guy.
Lee Count Dooku.
He is unboxed.
Look at that.
He's
have-
unboxed, revealed to you.
Switched out the arm and everything.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nerve
faster
wracking.
than thought. We have come, unfortunately, to the
Yes.
end.
Yes.
Guy Klender, you are a 6-scale genius. I am so
Oh, thank
happy to have you here on every episode. Thank you so much for checking out the Hot Toys 6-scale Count Dooku. You can get that at side.show/unsealed Dooku. By the way, we got that. As always, I got Autumn right next to me on the ones and twos dealing with your questions, comments, and concerns. We had such a blast doing this episode. I was really glad we got to have it.
And dark requests. Very dark
Very
requests.
dark. You are all sick and twisted,
but
and
we
we
are here
love
for you.
every minute of it.
Yes.
Don't forget to
We'll
check out
continue to do it.
all of our episodes of Unsealed and Revealed. We will do them often, as many times as we possibly can, as well as all of the really great stuff that Sideshow puts out there. On behalf of Guy, Autumn, and myself, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to let your geek side show. Bye. Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.